all about working smarter and not harder. And repurposing just works. If you're not repurposing your video content, then you are missing out on a ton of reach and possibly a lot of saved time. So today I'm going to show you how I turn one piece of content into 10 or more. Now, this is actually a series that I've been doing all month, so make sure you subscribe and take a look at those other videos where I show you how to repurpose different types of long form content. So the first thing you're going to want to start with is obviously, a long form piece of content. So that can be a YouTube video, a podcast, a webinar, or a live stream. Mine is currently YouTube, but about a year ago, it was a podcast. Then with this long form piece of content that I just mentioned, you can then go and create a blog with the script from the video. Now, if you don't have the exact script written out, you can always go to transcription websites like rev.com, or I believe another one is otter.ai. Now, that right there is 2 pieces of content. Then from there, you can then create a newsletter to send out to your email list with, again, the points that you also mentioned in the blog. And then in the newsletter, you can either link your blog or you can link the original piece of content like the YouTube video or the podcast. If you have a blog, it's actually a good idea to send them there because then you're getting points both on the podcast or the YouTube, feed, and then you're also getting points for SEO, which is search engine optimization. So that means you would be getting points for the original piece of content and on Google. Now, that right there, just in itself, is 3 pieces of content. Now, this is where it gets fun, so just stick with me here because we're really going to diversify your content. Then from there, you can create a carousel slide for either Instagram or LinkedIn. And if you're really feeling groovy, you can put it on Facebook too. Now, this would be the same content technically, like the content in the slides would all be the same. But since you're posting it to 3 different platforms, that's technically considered 3 pieces of content. So we just went from one long form piece of content, which is YouTube, podcast, or live stream webinar of some sort. And then we made it a blog. And then from that blog, we took the script and created an email newsletter letting people know that it's there. And then from there, we created a text slide for Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So that right there is 6 pieces of content in itself. But we're not done just yet, right? We didn't even get to every platform's favorite piece of content right now, and I wholeheartedly believe this, and that is short form video content. So you can do this a few different ways, right? So you can either edit the original long form content and you can take clips from out of that original content, or you can take the script and you can re-record your points that you made in that video. Or another way you can go about it is, again, you can do a voiceover of what you were talking about in this long form piece of content, and then you can add B-roll on top of this video to make a story video basically. Now, which way you go about it, I believe it takes about the same amount of time to create each one. But, if you're not as experienced, it may take a little longer depending on which way you go about it. If you're wondering and you're not sure how to edit any of these videos or how to edit video content in general, I do have a video editing course, Edit Like a Savvy Pro, where I teach you how to edit YouTube videos or micro content. The link is down below in the description box if you want to check that out. But you can actually do all 3 of these things because guess what? On these social media platforms like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, your content does not have a very long shelf life. Instagram, your content they only show your content to people for about 24 hours. And then your content can possibly resurface and then go right viral, but you don't have very good chances of doing that. So you can actually do all 3 of those types of content, and they would all sound and look slightly different, and no one would notice and no one would care. I do it all the time. No one's going to say anything to you about it. So that way that I just explained, that is 3 more pieces of content. So let's say you posted those 3 videos on Instagram, right? That's 9 pieces of content that we already created. But if you put the short video content on the other platforms such as Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok because it's short video content and it can go anywhere. You just took that from 9 pieces of content to 24 pieces of content. And nowadays, you don't even have to, manually go into each platform to post these videos. There are platforms like repurpose.io, and it lets you post one video in one place, and then it will automatically post the video to the other platforms on its own. Now, this was a very simple repurposing strategy. You could go into your long form content even more and pull out content in different ways. But the whole purpose of this video was to take what you already have and basically get more mileage out of it. Now, if you have a ton of video content that you would like to repurpose, but you don't know how or you don't have the time to do it, I would love to help with that. I'm a video editor and a video strategist, and this is actually what I do for a lot of my clients. So if you're interested in working with me, just click the link down in the description box and we can see if we're a great fit for each other.